starting your trucking journey. She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
All right, I am back. I want to go over a few things before I get started because I'm always making some crazy mistakes. So what I forgot to do was to here's my Facebook thing. You can support me by sending stars. I need to reintroduce myself because I'm going to bring on our guest. And let me tell you a little bit about her. I met her a while back at a power networking thing, and I asked her to be on this program. She has written a book, and her name is Farrah Ali. And I'm going to bring her on and let her introduce herself to you, and she can tell you just a little bit about herself. Hello, how are you? And thank you so much for coming on this evening.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
No, it's not a problem. Okay, so this lady here, you all, has done, just miraculous things. She is I don't know if she's still a single parent, but she did all of this as a single parent, okay? And so what I would like for her to do is to introduce herself to us and tell us just a little bit about herself.
Thanks, Anna. And so to your, real quick, to the answer to your question, yes, I'm still a single parent. But basically, my name is Farrah. I have been investing in real estate since 2014, but prior to that, I had gotten a divorce back in 2011. And when I separated right before that, I had to start completely fresh. I walked into a rented home with no furniture at all and had to start over. I had a full-time job and I had the 2 kids that I was solely responsible for. And so it was just a fresh new start for me. And honestly, I was super scared at the time. But, I always had this faith that if you do the right thing, that things will always work out in the end. So, but what happened was, I never finished school and I knew I needed to make some more income to be able to financially support my family. So I went back to school, got my undergrad, and then I got my MBA, thinking that the MBA was going to just make me massively rich. But that wasn't the case, actually. I did get an increase in pay, which was nice, but that's not kind of what I was, looking as lifestyle-wise, being able to have the kids go to sporting events or being involved in sports and things like that. So I was like, all right, how do people get wealthy? And so then that's kind of how then I got into real estate. But yeah, just a little bit about me real quick is we'll go into how I got into real estate in a little bit. But single mom of 2 kids, 2 boys I have. My career has been in insurance and underwriting. So I was in corporate America for close to 20 years, managing underwriters and customer service reps. And then I also then started, finished school, got into real estate investing. I have a non-for-profit that I'm a president of called We Win Foundation. I also have a company called We Win that gets other women into real estate investing. And most recently, I'm a certified life and success coach.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because you said, right after school, you got into real estate before school or after school?
After school.
After you finished?
After I got my MBA, because in my mind, I thought the way to getting rich was getting a degree and then going and getting your MBA. And so then I was like, so once I got the MBA, I'm all excited and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to make like all this money. And it was an increase of like 15%, but with after taxes, that's really not really much, right? So it's like, wait, now I got to go back to the drawing board. I mean, I was glad that I did the MBA. I feel like it gave me some confidence and all of that, but it wasn't what I was looking for. So that's
You know, when you said that, it reminded me, you know, because when I was in school, you have all the because you grow up with that vision that you know you grow up, you're gonna go away to school, you're gonna get and you're gonna make lots and lots and lots of money once you get this bachelor's, and then you go back, you get the master's.
yeah. And
Yeah,
all you really
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and then all you really get is lots and lots and lots of debt.
Yeah,
It's
that's it.
end
That's
up with.
it. That is it. So I can feel you in that, and I have like two masters. Okay, so I can feel you in that in how you feel because that's what I grew up that way. You grow up, you think you're gonna go away to school, you're gonna get all of that thing, and then you're gonna start making money, and you're just gonna be just so rich. But
Mm-hmm.
ha 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 ha. You are so right. So let me ask you this, the next question, and then we're going to break for a commercial.
Sure.
But so you got into real estate um, after college. So what do you actually do in the real estate? Let me ask you that because I think that the audience wants to know what you actually what was your process.
Sure. So that's a good question. When I say invest in real estate, a lot of times people get confused with me being an agent and selling homes. That's not what I do at all. I
Okay.
invest in properties. And what that means is that I look for really good deals out there, whether they are from the MLS, which is a public service, whether they're from other people, like wholesalers, what we call them, people who actually go around and look for properties and get them under contract, but they necessarily don't invest. They hand them to an investor to buy. So there's various different ways of finding property, but basically I find them at a discount. I purchase them. And then what I do is I fix them up to make them look nice and pretty. And then once they're fixed up and nice and pretty, I 90% of the times I will get a tenant and I rent that out, and then the tenant pays me that passive income every single month. I do refinance, so I borrow money on the short term for like 6 months, and then I do a long once everything is done and I got a tenant in there and it's income producing property, I do a refinance so that I have a 30-year mortgage, long term fixed rate interest, and then I'm making that cash flow every single month. So I do that over and over again. So far, I've been able to build a portfolio of, I don't know, it's between 50 and 60 properties right now. I stopped counting after 50. I felt like after 50, I was like, okay, like this is good. I don't need to count anymore. But basically, every single month, I have cash flow anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000 passively coming in. So that's what I do. I used to be in insurance in the corporate America, but in 2021 is when I retired completely.
Okay. All right. So we're going to take a little break and then we're going to come back and I want you to tell the audience because this lady here wants to help others and that is miraculous. Okay. So hold on, we have some comments before we go to the commercial. Sorry. Let me get them in. Dr. Ramsey, she's sharing hashtags live. She's also given us hearts. And the CTR Media Network is run by this lady here, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. So I just want to let you know. She says hello, and she's
Hello.
also saying very interesting. So I just want to relay those comments to you. Before we left and went to commercial break. So we're going to go to commercial break. And then when we come back, I want you to tell me how other women can get into investing.
Sure.
Okay, I'll be right back. This is my favorite. I always have something for the kids. Because
I'm hungry for a cookie.
because I'm a early childhood teacher.
Mhm.
So I always have something for
Yeah.
for everyone. So as we left for break, I wanted to come back because I wanted her to tell. She has an organization that she co-founded. It's called We Win, and I want her to kind of tell us a little bit about that. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that I have down where you can contact her if you're interested in learning a little bit more about her organization. It's yours.
So yes, in 2019, I co-founded a company called We Win, and it's basically a platform to get other women into real estate investing. The reason that we did that was because a lot of women feel intimidated going into these meetings, because usually in the past it's been very male dominated field. I think that's been changing most recently. And it's just a kind of safe space, to talk about our experiences about in getting into real estate investing, how to do it with very little money. When I started, I was in a ton of debt, and I didn't have much money at all. And I used to think that buying a property, you would have to put 20% down for an investment property to purchase a property. Whereas when I took classes, I found out that there are actually private money lenders who are willing, in most cases, to lend you 100% of purchase and 100% of the rehab costs to purchase the property, which is what I did. So when I actually did that entire deal, and I was like, oh my God, wow, this works. I borrowed all the money. I was able to do the rehab. I was able to do the refinance. I'm like, this really works, and I need to let other people know about it. So that's kind of why the organization was started. So we do free meetings one or two times a month. We do them live as well as virtual. They're held in Lombard Live. So if anybody is interested in coming to any of these free meetings, you're welcome to email me and I'll give you some more information about that. But yeah, it's just we give a lot of value add information on how to get started and some of the roadblocks along the way, how to do rehabs, calculating the numbers and how to know when it's a good deal. We recently did one called Deal Tank. So it's kind of like the Shark Tank version, where people were able to present their deals to lenders, and then the lenders basically evaluated them and said that they would fund them or they wouldn't fund them, and why. So it was a great learning experience for a lot of people who attended.
Mm-hmm. So, have you had other people that have had success in this?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of people that I have known that have had success. There's certain people that they're able to do one deal a year, and then there's people that can do 5 to 10 deals a year, kind of depending on everyone's situation. But yeah, there's many that I know that have been able to start with not very much or no education at all, and being able to get educated and being around the right people so that they can actually basically replicate what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm curious because a lot of people said that since you got involved and you didn't have any money. So how did that? You found someone to invest in
So
you?
yeah, I actually got educated, a part of this group, and in the part of the group where they give the education, they have what you call private money lenders. So
Okay.
as long as you get educated properly, these lenders know that, okay, she knows what she's doing, and then once you find a deal, they vet the deal just to make sure that it makes sense, right,
Okay.
numbers wise. So which is really good, because you do have another party vetting your deal in case there's something that I miss on the deal. Them as a lender, they also know how to invest, so they could be like, hey, did you think of this or whatnot. So that's also, so basically you reach out to them and then they fund your deal, and a lot of times if it's a good deal, it's 100% of your purchase and 100% of your rehab.
And then do you pay them back?
Yes. So that's where the refinance comes in, right? So you borrow the money to purchase
Okay.
and to fix it up. Then when it's fixed up and you have a tenant, or if you don't have a tenant, you can flip it. You can always sell the property. And once you get the proceeds, There's a proper loan documentation recorded. So whatever, if I borrowed, let's just say 100,000 to purchase and fix the property, and the property sold for 180, right? So that lender will get the 100,000 that I borrowed, and then after all closing costs and stuff, I get to pocket the rest.
You get the rest. Sounds good to me.
Yep. Or you just refinance it. So when you refinance it, the bank will give you 75% of whatever that property appraised for. And so you use that money to pay the lender back. If there's any money left over, I get to keep that, and I still have the property for cash flow, and the lender's paid back. And it's like a win-win for everybody. Everybody makes money. Everyone makes money.
Yeah, win-win situation. That is just so interesting. I'm really amazed at of that. So we're going to take another commercial, and then you're going to come back and tell us about that fabulous book that you read.
Sure.
You're going to tell us about that book and how they can get that book, okay? All right, we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Okay, we are back, and I have Farrah Ali here, and she has written a book, and I'm going to have her tell us a little bit about her book.
So yes, back in 2020, is when I started writing the book. It's called Diaries of a Female Real Estate Investor, and I wrote it because there would be a bunch of people who would ask me, hey, how did you invest with no money? Because they knew my financial situation. How did you invest working full time? How did you invest as being a single mom with 2 kids? How did you find the time? So I would constantly get bombarded with these questions. And so I would give people, the answers, but generally it would be like a 5 to 10 minute answer, and I never felt like I gave them the full picture. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put all of this into a book. And so that's what inspired me to write the book. And I kind of talked a little bit about my journey, like my financial situation, what my mindset was. And then I also talk about, I have like actual 5 properties that I do case studies for, where I talk about what I purchased it for, what I rehabbed it for, what it appraised for, and what I get it rented for, and how much cash flow I make every month. And I do that because I want people to understand the process. And so I go through 5 of those examples, and then what I've learned and how my mindset has changed, and kind of what I'm working on next. So the book, Diaries of a Female Real Estate Investor, a lot of people have told me that they really got a good basic understanding of investing in real estate. And you can find the book on Amazon. And I mean, if you are watching and you come to my podcast event, which is May 10th, it's in Lombard, it's live. You could just come up to, I'm going to have my books there for sale. But if you say Anna L. Brothers, I will give you that book for free at my podcast launch party event, just because you're watching.
Nice. Thank you. So, did you all hear that? Because people are going to be watching the replay.
Uh-oh.
I just want to let you know. And when they hear that,
no, that's all cool.
they're going to hop on that, okay?
All right. I'm ready.
Oh, I am going to get that book myself because a long time ago, I took real estate, and I was interested in real estate. I just didn't, pursue it as per se. When I got married, and all those things play a part in it as well. So, and I just kind of got out of it. But my mother sold real estate. That was like our little, part-time thing to do. But I do want to remind you, I'll come to her. I have it listed here. I'm gonna leave it up there for a little while. Also, I have listed her website. I believe that is her
Yes,
website.
that's my website.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've listed her website. So if you want to contact her there, if you want to learn a little bit more about WIN as well, you can contact. We're going to take another commercial break, and then we're gonna come right back. Okay.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, we are back, and I will leave that up for just a few more moments so that in case anyone wants to come to that. And I'm not even going to repeat it. I'm going to let you watch this. So, because there's something in it for you if you if you watch it. Also, I want to. We didn't talk about life, and because you are a life and success coach, and so we need to kind of, because people want to know about that. I have done I've done a series on coaching because there are so many different types of coaching. Most people, when they think of coach, they think of a basketball coach or those type of coaches. But there are health coaches. There are transformational coaches. So, kind of tell us what the life and success coach does.
Sure. So basically, I am gearing towards taking clients who want some sort a personal development or transformation, right? So there might be an area of their life where they aren't satisfied with where they are. And for example, let's just say somebody's making a $50,000 salary a year, and they want to go from 50,000 to 100, or from 100,000 to a million, or whatever that is, right? So how do I get you to change your habits and your mindset to get you to that level? A lot of times and this is something that I've learned in my own personal life, like my mindset that I had when I was in my early 30s or in my 20s is very different than what it is today, because of all the experiences that I had to go through. Now, if I had a mentor who would say, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and I don't have to spend the next 5-6 years going through those experiences, I can just shift my mind to that place, right? That's kind of what I help with. And people will let's just say, for example, there'll be people that come in and they want to do real estate. They want to become a multimillionaire when it comes to real estate, but they're carrying old habits and old belief systems. So it doesn't matter how much you get educated. Sometimes they aren't able to pull the trigger because they have so much fear and doubt, insecurities, all of that, right? So you got to work on your mindset. your attitude, your beliefs first, or in tandem with the knowledge that you're getting. Because learning real estate is a process. You just go, you learn it and you just follow what somebody teaches you. But the mindset part of it, you actually need to sit down and get coached, because we don't even know the self-limiting beliefs that we actually have in our subconscious mind. Even for me, like, I'm a pretty positive person over time. I'm like, yeah, I can always look at things in a positive way. Even if I'm going through a bad day, I'm like, there's something that this is going to teach me, right? And there's also our subconscious mind that has a program running behind the scenes that we are not even aware of. Like, we don't think about breathing, but our mind, like, we breathe without thinking, right? The same thing, that there are belief systems from when we were a child or teenage years or even adult that are running, that we need to be more conscious and aware of. So I help people bring that to light and be able to change that and reframe things so that they can see the better version of themselves.
Oh, I love that. I love that, because I am a positive thinker person, and I believe in affirmation. So we have another comment over here. Sheree Moore, she is saying correct. She's saying you are so correct. Thank you so much for coming on. But yes, I will agree with that. And sometimes we hold our own selves back because we have those self-doubts. And the best thing to do is just to get on in there. And look, I'm going to say, look, I think this one is for me.
It is, definitely.
Okay, it's probably for you. Thank you, sweetie.
It's for the both of us. How about
yes,
that?
That's right. Oh, they're hilarious sometimes. But I will agree with you. And that's why I do this podcast. Because I want people to, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. And so, and like, I don't know everything either. Okay. But I'm willing to research it and willing to, find out for people, because it's very hard. And so I do a lot of mentoring myself. I am, like you heard at the beginning, I'm an educational mentor. I mentor sites, daycares to get their accreditation. So I am a very busy person, but I felt that there was a need for a podcast so that people could become more aware of their surroundings. And just like you said, those things that you're saying helps a person become a better person, and it makes them live a healthier lifestyle. I do believe. So we are going to take another commercial break. And then when I come back, I want you to think about it while I'm gone, because I want you to let us know what you would like to leave with us this evening. Okay? All right, let's see. Here we go. It's going to be a short one. Ooh. Somebody is sharing. See, they come on and they share here. Somebody is sharing mine.
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? They have the support. They support us in all that we do. If we have questions, they take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it.
All right, we are back with Farrah Ali. She is an author, a life and success coach. She's also the founder of We Win LLC. And she has given us so much information on how we can become rich, y'all. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And so before we close out this evening, I've asked her to leave us with a few things, tell us something that she would like to leave the audience with.
Sure. So something that I have learned that I want to share that I think would help others is if you were to take any aspect of your life, whatever it is, whether it's relationships, whether where you are financially, whether it's relationship with your kids, parents, spouse, whatever it is, or your financial situation, your health, anything, and you take complete responsibility for it, meaning you're not blaming anything else, anyone else, any circumstances, but you actually take full responsibility for where you are today. That's a huge shift in your mindset that will then help you get to the next level, because when you take responsibility for where you are and then you follow that up with action, there is an energy shift there, and you will start seeing that once you take action, you're in the right energy field, and you will now start attracting opportunities that will get you out of whatever situation that you're in that you want to be out of. So whatever the case is, even if you had let's just say a bad childhood, or there was trauma, or whatever, maybe it wasn't your fault, but once you get to a certain age, and usually I say that's around early 30s, where you get the maturity to be able to take responsibility now of making changes into your own life. So always look at everything as, I attracted this to me. How do I change that? Rather than blaming anybody else. The second thing I would recommend people to do is think in abundance, meaning whatever you have or whatever you see, always know that there's an abundance of it. And I want to specifically talk about money. A lot of us are out there trying to compete with each other. We don't need to compete with each other because there's so much out there. Like, what is supposed to come to me will come to me. What is supposed to come to somebody else will go to them. You want to make sure that you are using collaboration, because collaboration is a much more positive state than competition. And I'm not saying that healthy competition is wrong. It's not. Sometimes people need healthy competition to fuel, but don't get upset or jealous because somebody else is doing well and you're not there yet. Use it to inspire. Use it as inspiration to inspire yourself. So just change the way you feel about things, and you'll see a big difference in your life.
I will agree. I wanted you to have that platform to yourself. You say a lot of things that I agree with as well. And, I'm going to ask you this. Have you ever read the book, The Law, Secrets? The Secret.
The Secret, I haven't read. No.
Okay.
I've heard about it, and I've been meaning to read it, but
okay, because that book talks a lot about the law of attraction, and that is kind of what you're talking about. It is an excellent book, and it's great for personal development, and because you attract what that law of attraction. So if you want it, you got to, that's I'm just all so excited about it.
You gotta think it, you gotta feel it.
That's right.
Yep.
You've got to really and truly, you've got to take all negativity out. You can't have that negativity
Mm-hmm.
and subconsciously sometimes we have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we need to change in our mindset. And so I do talk a lot about mindset and working together and collaborating because that's what the world is all about. That's how you learn. Kendra.
Yes,
That's how you
absolutely.
learn. It's about collaborating. And I'm a firm believer that you never get too old to learn. I learn something new every day, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Well, Farrah, I want to thank you so much for coming on. You just don't know how much I appreciate this, and I'm sure that my audience appreciate it too. They're funny. Some of them
Thank
are.
you again for having me on. It's been
Oh,
a pleasure.
it's I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um, so as I close out, I close out in a certain way, and so as I close out. I hope that in some kind of way that this evening we have kind of inspired you. And I hope that we have encouraged you. And I'm also hoping that we have empowered you to live a healthier lifestyle. And so, I always close my shows or anything that I do with my 3 L's. Because those 3 L's to me just represent life. And so the first one is to live. You want to live your life to the fullest. Do the things in your life that make you happy and gives you fulfillment. The second thing is to laugh. Laughter is really very good for the soul. And so, even no matter how sad you are, when that person makes you laugh, you feel 100% better. And then the next thing, the last thing, which is the most important thing of them all, is self love. You want to love, and you want to love yourself because you are the most important person. So, remember that when you are in your everyday lives, that to love yourself, pat yourself on the back. Don't be negative towards you. And so, with that being said, I am going to close out and I'm going to thank Farrah for coming on. I asked her to hold on, and I will be back to you in a few. Ooh.